tonight, the developer of Adelaide Pointe in Muskegon says he secured a new buyer for the marina. 13 on your side's Julia Gorman joins us now with details on this development. And Julia, this comes just days after a Kent County judge appointed a receiver for the marina project.
Yeah, Julia, that's right. 13 on your side spoke with developer Ryan Leestma over the phone today. He says attorney John Polderman will be taking over Adelaide Pointe as receiver. Polderman was appointed by the court last Tuesday. Leestma defaulted on loans for Adelaide Pointe totaling around $28 million issued by Independent Bank. In September of 2025, Leestma was named in court paperwork as a defendant in a civil complaint by Independent Bank. Now today, Leestma told 13 on your side he couldn't go into detail about who the buyer is or how much Adelaide Pointe could be sold for, but did say that it would satisfy their obligation to not only Independent Bank, but all of the banks that have loaned them money. Leestma told 13 on your side he never wanted to manage a marina.
I wanted to get it to a point where I felt it could go into the hands of somebody who would continue on with what I built. After 2 seasons of running and operating and growing the company, I felt that, and I was already headed in this way before, anything happened with the bank. I haven't really mentioned it publicly because, I wanted to make sure we were further along in the process.
Now, we did reach out to Polderman today. He said this via email, quote, "I intend on developing a disposition plan that addresses the concerns of the stakeholders and parties in interest. My first step will be meeting with ownership and reviewing the status of operations," end quote. Adelaide Pointe had its grand opening last May and holds a wet and dry dock for boats, a fuel dock, restaurant, retail space, and condos. Juliette.
Thank you, Julia.